Hi, I'm Chef Sherry Ronning, and I'm here to show you how to make cinnamon raisin French toast on the BLACKSTONE griddle. Cinnamon raisin French toast is super easy to make. I'm going to give you a few tips to make this a restaurant quality French toast. It is very easy to make on the BLACKSTONE griddle. I've used the electric griddle. I really like the electric griddle, but I've also made it outside on the gas BLACKSTONE griddle. So either way works out perfect. You can also, if you don't have a BLACKSTONE griddle and you're watching this, you can also do it in a saute pan on the stove, medium heat. This all works out for this recipe, so it's very easy, very versatile to make. So let's get started. Okay, we are going to start. The bread is very, very important. So I have a local baker that I go to. They make the best cinnamon raisin swirl bread. You can get this just as cinnamon bread. I know some people don't like the raisins, which that's okay. So you can just get a basic, just cinnamon raisin bread, cinnamon swirled bread. So both will work. So even if you want to use just a plain white bread, but the bread is very important. You want one that's firm but soft. This is kind of cut maybe a ½ inch thick. So you don't want it too thin. You can, I guess, go thicker than that if you'd like, but this is how I like it. So we're gonna go with this kind of a bread. You can do store-bought bread. I just think that a fresh bakery bread is a must when making this recipe. So we're gonna start 2 eggs. Basically, I say 1 egg per 2 slices of bread. So just adjust if you're making several, a whole loaf of bread, cut up your bread and then just kind of adjust your eggs to that. So this is just a very simple recipe. So I'm just going to use the eggs, a splash of milk, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of vanilla. You can use clear vanilla also if you want in this. This is just what I have up here, so this is just what I'm going to use. So I'm just doing a splash. And honestly, I'm not even really measuring. When I make this, I don't really measure. I just kind of do a splash of this and a splash of that. The reason I'm using milk is to just give it a little bit of fluffiness to it. And a little sprinkle of the cinnamon. You can also use like heavy cream or like half and half milk. You can use whole milk. I've done it different ways, and I just kind of use what I have in the refrigerator. So I don't really go out and buy special ingredients for this, but I just make sure that I have this bread when I'm making my French toast. So so that's it. As far as you just take and just whip it up with a fork. Not much consistency. You want to make sure to get the white part mixed up in there. So I have the griddle preheated to 450 degrees. You can do 400, 450 degrees. I would probably do medium heat on that. If you're doing the stove, then I would do medium heat on that. So different ways you can do this. You can do butter. If you want really good flavor, you can do the butter. You can do, I'm just going to use this because I don't want it to brown. If you use butter, it's going to brown because the butter, when it's cooking, will turn into brown butter. So I'm just going to use the cooking spray, which people ask if you can use the cooking spray out there on the gas griddle, and yes, you can. I've used this. You can use butter, you can use vegetable oil, kind of use what you are normally used to cooking with. So I'm just going to spray the top of this. And when we're using this electric griddle, make sure you use plastic spatula. Do not use a metal spatula on this. If you're outside with the gas one, go ahead and use the metal one. So I'm just gonna take my egg mixture here, and I'm gonna just dip it quickly. You don't want to leave this soaking in there. That's one thing that I don't like. And see here, the sizzle, you want that sizzle, you want the griddle to be nice and warm. And I like to just kind of press just gently down so it adheres nice to the griddle there. And you get a nice golden brown color when you do it like that. So then I just kind of like let the egg white kind of fall off of there. If it's on there, then that's fine. That's not too big of a deal. So just set it on there. Nice little sizzle. You hear that? This is a pretty fast recipe, and if I were making this for a crowd, you could actually fill up the whole griddle on this, or the griddle out there, the big griddle. So you see, I'm just doing 2 slices of the French toast, and I do have about half of it left over. So I did use 2 eggs to start off with, but I'm only using part of it. So, and if you're like my husband, he likes to take this leftover, if you have any left over, put it on the griddle and scramble it, and then you have French toast with a little bit of scrambled eggs that have a little bit of flavor to it. So that's kind of up to you. It actually looks like it's doing pretty good. You don't want it to cook too fast, because if you do that, it's going to be raw in the middle. From the egg soaking up, it's going to be like soggy in there, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that the temperature is at a good temperature so that it's going to cook kind of quickly, get golden brown, but it's not going to cook too fast, and it's not going to burn. Ooh, look at that. That's perfect. So I'm just going to just gently press down so it adheres and gets a nice, adheres to the griddle really good. There we go. And you want to make sure not to cross-contaminate. When I flipped it over, I have eggs on the top of my hand, so I want to make sure not to cross-contaminate the eggs and touch that there. So using the spatula for that, and then I'm going to wash my hands. It's very important when you're cooking not to cross-contaminate your food, and it can happen very easily. So, okay. And we've only been doing this just a couple of minutes, and this is almost ready to come off the griddle. This recipe, I really like to do this recipe like for a breakfast for a holiday, because it's super easy to make. You can actually make your eggs up, whip it all up and stuff, stick it in the refrigerator, and then in the morning, just cook it up really quick, and you have a great breakfast for your family. So I used to always, this is one of my like Christmas recipes that I'll do. Yeah, that's perfect, and that's perfect. We're good on there. So just look at that, like maybe 3 minutes it took to cook up. Put it on your plate there, and my kids like when they're having French toast like this. I'm going to show you quick how to clean the griddle. While it's still hot, take paper towel, and if you don't want to do it with your hands like this, you could take a pair of tongs and rub it around, but I just go like this while it's hot. I don't, when I'm using the oil, using the cooking spray like this, I don't let it cool first and then wipe it, because if you do that, that oil will harden up on there and it won't want to come off the griddle. So you really want to do this when your griddle is warm. And I will take just a clean wash rag after it's cooled down, boom, 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 and there you go, your griddle's clean. That's all the cleanup that you have with this. So it's super easy, super quick to do. You can make a lot make a crowd, a meal for a crowd of people. So I have my French toast. So now what am I going to do with it? You can do, I have fresh maple syrup, Michigan maple syrup from my nephew that he gave me that I like to pour on there. My kids really like the powdered sugar. So whenever I'm making French toast, I always have to have the little container of powdered sugar. And so I just go like that. So I just go like that and just sprinkle some of the powdered sugar on there like that. And then you can use your syrup on there. One thing that I really like to do, I like to take one of my pieces, I will put syrup on, and then I don't know if this is an old school thing or maybe when I was growing up, maybe we didn't have syrup, maybe we're out of it or something when, because I grew up on a farm and way out in the country, so sometimes we might have been out, but I like homemade strawberry jelly. So that is my favorite to put on French toast. So you can make fruit topping for it. You can actually do like whipped cream with some fruit on there. So I just made some strawberry rhubarb jam, and we freeze it in this kind of a container. And I keep it in the freezer so it is solid. It is a little bit set up, but it's easily spreadable. So it's a consistency of a butter. So my thing is I like one piece that has the strawberry jelly on it. And then I have another piece, and don't ask me why I do this. This is just such a weird thing that I do, but that's how I like to eat my French toast. So then I have one that has your favorite syrup. Pour it like that. And so then I eat back and forth, and I don't know why I do that, but that's just how I love to eat my French toast. So let's give it a try. Fresh maple syrup. Really, really good. But I have to try my strawberry. Homemade strawberry jelly jam that I make for freezer jam. And so good. You got to give it a try. Your family's going to love this. If you like this recipe, subscribe to my page, like the recipe. Go to FromMichiganToTheTable.com. You'll find all kinds of recipes. I do have a post that I'll leave a link in the comment box or down below, and you can go get the full recipe for this and all kinds of tips and tricks on how to make it. I also poke around my website. You'll find more Blackstone griddle recipes. You'll find smoker recipes, Midwestern cuisine recipes. So just please enjoy. Come back to my YouTube channel often. Subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see when I have new recipes coming out. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.